All right. Good afternoon, Contina. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am doing fantastic. I've got your resume here in front of me. You've got some fantastic background, and you've also done a couple of assignments for us, very long term, I see as well. But let's start with your most recent position at Matthews International. What were you doing there?
Matthews International, that was a customer service position. So we dealt with funeral homes. So we would have to reach out, have a pipeline, communicate with the warehouse, get urns out in a timely manner, and also manage accounts as well.
Wow. Okay. So was this when you're saying we'd have to do like reach out for like who you reach out to, like the families? Are you going after new business? Or you work? How does that work?
It would be the funeral directors.
Okay.
So if they had a special engraving, we would have to reach out if there was payments that we needed as well.
Okay.
If it was a certain date they needed their earns by, we would reach out to them as well, or they would reach out to us,
Fantastic. Are you doing this by phone or by email?
phone and email.
Phone and email. Fantastic.
hmm
How much like transactions would you say you were working on per week on average?
Um, I would say if I had to get any credit card information, I would say touching about. It wasn't like an everyday thing, so I would say about 3 to 4 clients
Okay.
a week. Yeah.
Okay. And then what were you doing in the spare time if you were only having to do 3 or 4 clients? What else were you doing then?
So we will manage a pipeline in our email. We would input orders. We would go over to accounting to give them, credit card, debit card information. Go over to the engraving department to make sure the urn was to the family's liking. So sending pictures to the funeral directors, and just making sure everything got out in a timely manner.
All
So we
right.
would have to contact FedEx as well.
Okay, great. And then it looks like before that you spent a couple years working at SunTrust over in Orlando through Ronstadt. What were you doing there?
That was title vesting. So before it went off to the underwriter, I would do like the basics, employment, making sure everything was ready to go for the underwriters. If I had to retrieve any documents, basic data entry, stuff of that sort.
Okay. Were you doing outbound calls? Were you on email? How did that work?
It was just really strictly email.
Strictly email. And how many outbound emails on average were you sending per day?
Oh gosh. It'll be more, I would say about five emails per day. But we would receive emails because we worked out of a pipeline as well on their system on SunTrust side.
Okay. So as far as like how your metrics were measured then, how was your supervisor measuring your success?
Pretty much off the underwriter. So the underwriters would get a pipeline and then I would have to fulfill their needs. So I would put everything into a document in their files, and that's how everything was measured. When they met, I met.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. And then what were you doing at Digital Risk?
Oh gosh, I was at Digital Risk for a while. So first I started off doing data entry where it was a third party company. We received the files and we worked on this system called Lucy. So within Lucy, we would input client's name, address, employment history, um, salary, how they got paid. We would take snips of if they had any assets, um, any wills. It was like a system where we just input data, and then from there on I went on to processing, where I was on uh their so within digital risk they had a lot of departments, so I was working on uh Fannie Mae side. So then I would have to take information in from the clients. I had a pipeline I would have to do. We had a quota, of course, that we had to hit every month. It would vary depending on the client, and it was pretty much data entry, taking any type of payments, getting the loan ready for the underwriters, and that. It was it
Okay.
was a lot of work.
It sounds like a lot of work. So obviously it sounds like you're very computer savvy. Do you know how fast you are able to type? Have you ever taken like a data assessment?
I'm about 30 words per minute, 25 to 30 words per
Okay.
minute. Yeah.
All right. And what do you need to make per hour to consider a position?
At least 16 plus an hour.
16 an hour. And where you're in Orlando?
Yes, I'm in Orlando.
Which area of Orlando are you in?
I'm over here like near Maitland.
Near Maitland. All right. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording and chat with you about a couple open positions if that sounds good.
Okay, no problem.